And we need to quit lifting people up and start lifting Christ up. Just watching it. People walk in and one got a Bible, the other got a briefcase, the other got a cup of water, the other got Tic Tacs. And that is not honoring the man of God. That is a circus. That's a sideshow. We're putting so much attention on ourselves. Now, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it because I'm used to being in trouble. And I know everybody watching, but I need to say it because I'm a watchman. One of the things that got on my nerves the most this past week when I was at PIP is a nationally renowned speaker comes out and has the pulpit removed, brings out a table, puts a tablecloth on it with their name and their logo on the front in the middle of worship. And as I was watching people shout and go nuts, I looked at some of y'all who was shouting and going nuts. I said, now they know better than that. Because it is not your time to shine. It's worship. How dare you promote your business and your company above worship? When did you become the center of attention? It was sinful. And I hope they're watching this. It was sinful. And I said, is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing? This holy podium that great preachers have preached from all week long was removed. And we brought in a folding table. It's kind of like putting the Ark of the Covenant on an ox cart. A folding table with a tablecloth so we can get your information. And then have the unmitigated goal to stand off to the side and say, that's the problem with the church. We promoting ourselves too much and not Jesus. If I'd had a brick, I'd have threw it. And so you got to hear me. The enemy puts us to sleep so we don't notice the obvious. But look what just occurred. They made themselves the center of attention. Scripture says, I need to decrease so he can increase. Who cares what my website is? Who cares what my name is? Who cares what I'm doing? It's preaching time. It's worship time. We got to watch that. Because we're turning church into a circus. And because we're not getting people what's real, even though they shout their heads off in service, they still walk around full of fear. The reason we run money to the altar is not because of faith. It's because we're afraid we're going to miss our blessing. Because somebody told us at the pulpit, if you don't bring this amount, you will miss a blessing. And so the very fact they said, if you don't do this, you'll miss it, it no longer is faith, it immediately becomes fear. I'm giving because I'm afraid to miss my blessing. Now the giving is not an opportunity, it has become obligatory. I'm obligated to give now because if I don't give, I'm going to have a curse over my head. And with all the pomp and circumstance, with all that's going on, people are shouting till they pass out and still leaving places of worship full of fear because we're not preaching anymore. We're not teaching anymore. We're running a show. I know what church looks like when it's real. No, now hear me. You got to hear me. When I grew up, and I ain't that old, I'm 43. When I grew up and we called for revival, the church was packed every night. Not just on the night you wanted to hear the person you wanted to hear. See, that's a whole nother kind of spirit. Because if it's really about revival, you come in every night because you know your revival can come at any time. You don't know who walking in with the word that's going to set you free. So you can't miss no nights. But because it's more like a show, well, okay, I'm going to come to this. I ain't coming to that. I'm going to come to this. I ain't going to come to almost like we at movies 8 looking up at the screen saying, I don't want to see that. Oh, that's happening. I'm trying to help you. And so we do all that hollering, all that shouting, all that kind of stuff, and we still leave scared to do what God told us to do. Because all we just had was a pep rally. We had a pep rally and a fundraiser. And I ain't talking about nobody in particular. I'm talking about what goes on all over the country. I've traveled all over the country. All over the country. And in my day, at the end of the message, there was an invitation. Not lines to get in to give. What about the souls? What about deliverance? And we gotta keep each other on task with that. Us preachers do. We gotta keep each other on task with that, or it'll get so far out of hand that droves of people sitting in church will go to hell because we never ministered to what was really going on with them. Again, I ain't trying to dog nobody, but my responsibility is to let you know when something wrong happened. That's my job. And I can't not say it because I'm afraid somebody gonna get offended. That was wrong. Whenever somebody lifts themselves up above the worship moment itself, take away this pulpit that has been hewed for the purpose of preaching and proclamation, and let's bring out an old ox cart, a folding table. Let's set the glory of God on that. My job is to teach you all. Even if it costs me, I got to teach y'all. Second Corinthians. Y'all all right? Okay. Now, again, he's not giving me the spirit of fear. He's giving me the spirit of power, spirit of love, spirit of a sound mind for him now. And as I live for him, I develop an ability to do something. Let's look at this in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Did I tell y'all the chapter? Chapter 4, verse 13. I know I'm going to get in trouble for that one. That doggone internet Cleveland done got put in here. Well, 3 months ago I could have said this. I ain't say that. Make you free. And I want y'all, I don't care who you like to preach and all that kind of whatever. But I need to tell you when something was wrong and when something was right. And pretty much all that we seen last week was great until we got there. That was disgraceful. That was disgraceful. Let's look down. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, 13. We having the same, see that? What of faith? The word again is pneuma. Faith is